Well guys, it's been about a week that I've had this 3rd gen Tundra, so let's get into it and I'll let you guys know. I was wondering when it was going to start, but in this video I'm going to show you some of the issues that I've had with it in the first week, a lot of the positives that I've had with it, and then also my build plans for this truck. Let's get into it. So I had no idea if that was actually going to work, so held the top button down, 1, 2, 3, held it on the 3rd, but it's got to squeeze in here, and let's see if this thing shuts itself off. It does. All right, well, that's kind of pointless. So typical Toyota fashion, shuts itself off, and yeah, it's pointless. Okay, so we will start with some of the flaws that I've seen with this truck and some of the build quality issues that kind of irk me a little bit. We will then talk about some of the things that I've really enjoyed this last week with the truck, and then we'll wrap up with my build plans that I have for my 2022 Tundra. So the first thing, and I noticed this day one driving it back from the dealership, for some reason, passenger rear door, this area, some reason back here, I'm getting like a high pitch like whistling noise from it. Rush of air that is just like coming from here. I don't know where it is, but when I turn down the radio, I don't know if it's like this gap right here, but when I turn down the radio, I can just hear at like 50 miles an hour plus just air passing like in this corner of the truck right here. I have no idea what it is. If anyone has had this issue with their 2022s, let me know. And this all derived because I read a comment saying, hey John, let me know if you have any issues with wind noise in your driver's side door. So I turned down the radio and I really started to listen, and I could only hear it from that back door. Other than that, this whole truck is completely silent on the road. There is like that heavy wind noise that passes over it, but it is not too loud at all. But yeah, for some reason on that backside door over there on the passenger side, I get some wind noise that comes through. Coming on to the inside, this speaker right here, when you bump some tunes, vibrates a lot. So if I put my knee right here on this, it stops this whole door card from really vibrating. So like when the bass hits, I mean, it's only an SR5, so it doesn't have the nice JBL and all that stuff in it. So a lot of the bass is coming from these. So when the bass really hits, it's like, it kind of vibrates a little bit, but if I just put some sort of pressure onto the door card, it doesn't vibrate at all. These are a little cheap in my opinion. I know you don't physically touch door locks anymore. The truck does it itself, right? So you're not supposed to touch it, but I just noticed that. And then the only other issue I have on the inside, quality-wise, is the center console. Now, I'm I'm kind of upset about this because I do like how Toyota made this center console, and, you know, very functional. Passenger can open it up. I can open it up. We could slide it right here. You could put stuff right here, but it's plasticky. So take a listen. So every time I get into the truck, I just hear this. Now, if you're resting on it, it's not that big of a deal, but it just... And see, I just got in the truck, put my arm here. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know. It's just, it's a little bit of an annoyance. So that peeves me a little bit, that center console, because you get in it, you sit down, and you don't use that console to like get in and shimmy your fat self around, right? But I hear the noise immediately when I get into the truck because it does rattle a little bit. I mean, it's plastic on plastic, right? Plastic on plastic on the inside of it with that nice cushion on top. So when my arm's on it and I'm driving, I don't hear anything. But if I move a little bit and rustle my arm on that center console, I do hear some stuff, and I'm very anal about that. So it just, every little sound in a vehicle, it doesn't matter if it's a $100,000 freaking Lexus or something, I pick up on it a lot. I know this is a truck and some stuff rattles, I get that, but I'm just very picky on it. I mean, it's a $56,000 truck, right? And the thing that you put your arm on the most rattles. But other than that, guys, no issues with the screen at all. Did have some connecting issues at first, but it's just because I didn't have a profile installed yet. So I had to set up a personal profile versus a guest profile. No issues on the dash with anything yet, knock on wood. No wastegate issues. Again, that is from a supplier issue, not Toyota. So they are working on that. And fortunately for me, at least with the 200 plus miles that I have on this truck, I don't have that issue yet. All the lights work. The interior LED lights are a little bit dim on the truck, honestly. Like, they're not anything to write home about at night. And I kind of don't like that this one is directly back here, so you can't have it right here for you in the front because you only have those two up there. But this one they just leave back there because a lot of their models do have that panoramic moonroof. So for them to save money, Toyota just went ahead and just left it back there for the rear occupants. But this one did come standard with LED lights, which is nice, but again, they're not crazy bright. And the last thing we'll touch on is the ride comfort. So these seats to me have been very comfortable. My wife enjoys the seats too. The seat heaters work very well. Haven't used the steering wheel heater yet just because it hasn't gotten that cold here in Florida. And then the power is great. I'm averaging right now about 18 miles per gallon, 17 to 18 right now. I've been doing a lot of city driving with the truck. So when this tank of gas is done, I will fill it up all the way for you guys and do a proper MPG test. I will restart the trip and do all that. So those are some of the things that have irked me about the truck and some of the things I have liked, but now let's talk about the build, right? The very important thing about this truck and what I plan to do with it. So if you're new to my channel, you may not know, but I like to do OEM+. So how this truck sits right now with a little bit extra flair, but leave it the way Toyota really intended it. That's why I have a TRD Pro 4Runner, and it's not crazy. It's not that crazy of a build. The Tacoma so far is probably the craziest build that I've done, and it's literally just a lift and bigger tires with a body mount shop. But this may take a different route. So the very first thing that we're gonna do is up in the front, we're gonna take all this chrome away. Gonna take all that chrome away up front. I may put white down here as well for the lower valence and leave that bottom part black, but full chrome delete on the truck, black badging, or maybe badging to match the wheel color that we put on this truck. I'm not sure yet. And then that leads us to the wheels. We got 17-inch VTX wheels coming for this. I just paid the invoice for the tires. We went with Nitto Ridge Grapplers, 35, 12.5, 17. So pretty big tire, but not the biggest tire for this truck. There are people rocking 37s and it looks really good, but I don't want to mess with potential gearing issues or anything. I really just want the truck to still be decently drivable. And the more common tire that people are going to put on these trucks is 35s. So I'll give you guys a real world opinion of 35s versus 37s, because the individuals that are going to go 37s on this truck, I feel are more select few than that would put 33s to 35s on it. So I just went with 35s for that reason as well. And then to lift it up, we're going to go with Westcott Designs, their 3-1 pre-collar lift kit. Should be coming in sometime. I know he had a lot to send out. I was on that list of individuals to get like the first batch of them sent out, and just hasn't showed up at the doorstep yet. So we do have that coming in. And then also these trucks do have very small brake lines in the back. So when you lift it up, you may need to extend the brake line. So we'll be doing that at Yona Mafia. And then it may get crazy. We may do a low pro bumper up here for the truck. It may have a roof rack. It may have rock sliders, a rear bumper, bed cage, tent, all that stuff. It may be a potential full overland build / full off-road build, because I do really enjoy off-roading this 3rd gen Tundra. I haven't personally done mine yet, but when we've been at Toyota events, I've off-roaded the crap out of theirs. And this thing it's so freaking awesome, guys. So that's my plan, guys, real quick for my 2022 Tundra. It may evolve crazy. You know, we may get it tuned. We may do exhaust for it too. I don't know. I mean, it sounds pretty decent for a V6 right now. I don't want it to sound like, I don't know, a car because it is a V6, but we may get this one tuned because it's not the hybrid. I don't know. The possibilities are endless with YouTube and with collaborations, and intention for this truck is only to have it for a year. So a year to collaborate with companies, put this stuff on my truck first to just test it out for you guys to see if it's worthy of buying, and then just roll this into a TRD Pro or some version of a Tundra hybrid. So if you guys are new around here, definitely consider subscribing. Returning subscribers as always. Appreciate your guys' support. Catch you in the next video. All right, see you later.